because I can say I told you so. But unfortunately, I told you so. Look at that. Kind of fucking weird that looks. Big old shadow right there, and then the line's going the opposite way. And they just abruptly stop. Wait till we get past the trees. Look at these lines right here. You know, they just stop. They just go right to that point, and then they just all stop at the same time. Makes sense. Sprayed to bejesus today. Look at this. How many planes do you think it took to make that many lines? I am just, I mean, if you're paying attention, see, it's weird because it's like a lot of you don't actually pay attention to the news. You're actually really, really ignorant. And it sucks because it's like I sit here and I have these arguments. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. You know, it's just strange because I don't know what else what you guys are seeing. Are you guys not seeing Trump and Netanyahu hanging out yesterday? Trump talking about the U.S. is going to take the Gaza Strip. Like they keep putting out this narrative that there's like some sort of fight happening here and that Israel needs the help because, you know, those Palestinians with all their sticks and rocks, they're just fighting back too much. So the U.S. needs to step in. Like, it's really fucking scary. And again, it's like, do you not understand that? Look at the little rainbow midget on the side. Never saw that ever when I was a kid growing up. Never ever did we see little rainbow midgets on the side like that. But I mean, don't you understand that, like, Americans are going to lose their lives over this? Lots and lots of Americans are going to lose their lives over this. You know, it's funny because there are the people out there who will act like, you know, because I can, you know, if you watch all of my shit, you'll see that I predicted October 7th, 2023 almost to a T. But the fact that I might have missed a few things or you know, saw something or thought something was going to go a little bit differently than it does, there'll be people that'll be like, you know, give me shit. Well, it's like, how could I know any of it? I'm just some dumb in Michigan. How the fuck would I know that Israel is going to do anything, let alone predict it and get it right? How would that even make sense? This shit looks like it's about to blow up, dog. And that's what I just, you know, like, what are you guys not seeing? What is everybody else experiencing with this whole thing that makes them so compassionless and oblivious? I mean, all I do is I sit here and I try to think of ways that I can do this. Trying to think of, oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that shit. How many planes do you think it took to make all that? But I constantly try to, like, you know, I'm thinking of ways that I can make my life harder, you know, lessen the chances of me having any sort of success, being allowed to have any sort of success. You know, effectively putting myself and my family in danger to try to expose this shit. Like, I want to get t-shirts made, fuck Israel t-shirts and stuff like that. I want to start going to the Adat Shalom cemetery and just doing my live feed from there. Maybe when it gets warm, that's what I'll do. I'll just stop on the way there and do my live feed, walking back and forth in front of that piece of shit cemetery. I don't have, like, all the people that'll go, oh, you're trying to blame a group of people for something. No, it's not that. I hate all of them. I'm proud of that because they all support, oh, Jesus. They all support this murdersome child molesting cult. Look at that. It just came out from behind the clouds, huh? Or it just started spraying right there. Would it just fly up? You guys see this shit? This makes sense. Look, it just came out of nowhere, huh? Almost looks like they turned on the spray and started spraying. But what the fuck would I know, right? You know, it's crazy how you've been brainwashed. How you've been tricked into oh, look, they shut it back off. It just got shut off. So it was going basically right over my house, and then they shut it off when they got a little bit down the way a little bit. All right, gotcha. That makes sense. That's just what planes do, right? Isn't that what you say? Oh, that's just what planes do. Not all of them, of course, just sometimes. Just at the, you know, when the kids are going to school or getting out of school and shit like that. Look at that. Huh. Just stop spraying right there. Or what do you think happened? It went from there to there and it stopped spraying. What do you think happened there? They just hit a weird patch of weather where it all of a sudden the exhaust now sticks in the sky because they just hit a weird patch. The sky is just different up there at that one little spot. The winds aren't blowing as strongly. The temperature's just, what is it? What makes you think that's how that works? I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what else to do here. I don't feel like bad. I don't feel like guilty. I'm super, super proud of everything I'm saying and everything I'm talking about and everything I'm trying to do. I'm very, very proud of myself. And, you know, when you're proud of yourself for something, you tend to want to scream it from the rafters, right? You know, people, when they have their kids, they're so proud that they show all kinds of people who don't give a shit a picture of a baby that looks just like all the other babies. Because that's what we do when we're proud. And I don't understand what's holding you guys back anymore. You know, I get it. There's a lot of Israeli bots that come through. What's happening, Karen? Well, I don't know if you saw it, but yesterday, Netanyahu was here in the States, hanging out with your buddy Donald Trump. And Trump pledged that the U.S. was going to take over the Gaza Strip. The U.S. is going to do that. Because again, Israel's having such a hard time with their relentless bombardment that they need our help, right? I just don't know what else. Like, you know, somebody said on one of my comments, on one of my posts, oh, and I suppose Trump's one of their puppets too, huh? Like, smartass. And I was like, what the fuck do you think? Why else do you think Donald Trump is cutting off everyone else, tariffing, taxing everyone else, and you know, going with this America first bullshit, and yet somehow Israel gets more? They're going to get more out of us. I just don't understand what the fucking... I watched a Riviera in the Middle East. I just don't understand what else I need to say. What is this? What is going on here? why are we all so compliant and so okay with it? We're so okay with it that they can brag about it. They can post it on TV and all that, and then the clips go all over Facebook and all that. And the thing is, a lot of people aren't okay with it, and yet the system would have you believe that we are. And the only reason
feed are in a fucking uproar. There's all kinds of people on my friends list that are like listening to what he says and then providing the information to people using quotes and whatever to summarize it and to let keep posting it to let people know that this shit is happening every hour of every fucking day right now. He's doing so much damage.
But they do care.
To our fucking country. It's disgusting. Any of you on Social Security? Elon Musk is now in charge of our money.
I love this shit. Unban my hater. Who the fuck have I been? I haven't banned anybody in forever. The only people that get banned, I think I've banned like 4 people, and because a couple of them asked me to, and then another couple were using pedo code, and I have no tolerance for pedo code. I watched open mouth and with disbelief. Yeah, it's insane. It literally is. It's like they're. Huh?
When did they say that he was gonna help?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Was it like on a press conference?
Yeah. Fucking double podium press conference.
So that must have been.
Because Netanyahu gets his own podium.
There was a guy in front of me at Dunkin' yesterday in the drive-thru, and he was listening to Trump. So that must have been the press conference, really loud, and he's white dude, of course, shaking his head, and I'm just getting mad, and I'm shaking my head the other direction. He looked at his rearview mirror, and he saw me, and he kind of smiled. I turned my radio up as loud as
I would have flipped his bitch ass up, but you're a female, you can't.
So that must have been the press conference midday.
But see, it's like, okay, so that's the guy I want to talk to more than anybody, right? Because I want to say, okay, so you're like this, and you go with this because you say, Trump is all about America. That's why you support Trump. It's not because you're a racist and he's a racist. This is the claim. And yet, why are you so okay with all of this Israel stuff?
The sentiment I'm getting from the pro-Trump people have been, because he's against government. He's a businessman.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He wants our country to be successful and make money. He doesn't want the government to have all these regulations and restrictions, and he's going to make our country run like a business again. That's what I keep hearing from people.
I mean, but what successful business are you talking about that Trump has run?
None. If any of them look into his
background, they just don't look.
The people pay to use his name with the caveat you are to have nothing to do with our business.
They pay him extra to not have anything to do with it.
Because he doesn't pay for them. So let's put him in charge of our country.
But, I mean, he's not in charge of anything. This is the shit I never understand.
Pointing assholes into places that are going to fuck us.
He's not in charge of any of it. He does as he's told. Right? He, just like Biden, just like any of them, they are nothing. They are figureheads. They are there to give you the illusion that you have some sort of control. And even then, they don't. Right?
Yesterday, he tried to dismantle, God, which department was it? They locked all the employees out of their intranet so they cannot do their jobs and communicate with each other. And then they locked them out of the building, and Elon Musk's team went in there, and it was a big to-do. I'm trying to...
Yeah. I mean, I saw a video a couple of weeks ago where a guy was fucking telling us this. That he's an electrician who's hired on by Elon Musk, and they've been working in 24-hour shifts, like they're working 24 hours a day, multiple shifts, wiring and wiring and wiring. it's the thing that I just don't understand. Again, you believe in elections, and yet, like, you know that Trump didn't win the first election. He actually lost by 2.7 million votes. I don't know if you hear 2.7 and think that's a low number.
Oh, nice.
But 2.7 million votes is it's so many fucking people that voted the other way, and the Jays in the swamp that he was supposed to drain put him in charge anyway. What do you even how do you then fall for that? How do you ever think it's legitimate when the person that wins the most votes doesn't actually win? It's just insane.
An hour ago, one of my people in this group got locked out of their Social Security account. Oh my God.
Yeah. What do you think is happening here, guys? What the fuck do you think is happening? Trump is making enemies with everybody in the world. And you're seeing the response to it. You know, all these countries are like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is going on here? Oh, have the grocery prices dropped yet?
Nope.
What about the gas price? Gas prices dropped yet?
Nope.
When is that supposed to happen? Our options this year were dumb and dumber. They always are. There's no difference. Like, that's the problem is the people that think that there's a difference between Biden and Trump, or Kamala and Trump, or Hillary. These are all just figurehead actors playing a role that is decided long, long ago. You know, there's that famous picture of Bill Clinton shaking JFK's hand. And it's a perfect picture. How did there just happen to be a perfect picture of JFK, of Bill Clinton shaking JFK's hand?
Who's Lauren Boebert?
Doing a fucking a Mason handshake and everything?
Who's Lauren Boebert?
I don't know.
Somebody high up in our government calling for the abolishment of the Department of Education. That was 2 hours ago.
Trump isn't locking people out of their Social Security accounts. Oh, right, you know. You know. Right? People are just lying.
This person is not lying. He's scared. He's asking if anybody else got locked out of theirs.
But see, people are going to respond with whatever they can. So this person is going to act like they know what's going on everywhere with everyone. And that, oh, that's not happening. Because there's an arrogant douche.
So this person quoted him as far as the Gaza thing. She said, this part isn't the quote. I'll say it. But
when does our white male privilege kick in? I'm still waiting. Yeah, you're so fucking stupid. Your white male privilege has always been there. Just because you make yourself a pariah, I'll go, doesn't mean you don't get it. And the reality is,
if you were black, with all the shit you've done,
right,
your ass would have been in prison by now.
Prison,
sweetheart.
Long time prison.
Sorry.
You don't just steal from a store and get away with it. You don't do all the things Algo does as a black man. It doesn't work that way.
Especially not where you're living.
Right. But you don't get any of that white privilege. Don't worry.
He wants the U.S. to own Gaza, redevelop it, and relocate Palestinians to countries of, in quotes, countries of internet with humanitarian hearts. She said that obviously excludes the U.S., Canada, Greenland, and now Gaza.
So these people who, it's their land.
Of internet with humanitarian hearts. That's what he said. What does that mean?
I don't fucking know. I don't know a lot of the shit he says. He's an idiot. Your enemies are billionaires like Elon Musk who buy the... Yup, that's who it is. It's you're telling me who my enemies are. My enemies aren't the average chosen piece of shit that put the Netanyahus in charge in the first place. Why does everybody think in the U.S. it's always a really big deal that the president to be gets the J vote. Why is the J vote even talked about? These people make up 2% of the U.S. population, meaning about 1% vote. When was the last time you saw my feed this low from the beginning? Funny how that works. I told you that once Trump came into office, these live feeds were going to be affected. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I'm more worried about the people that print the money than the people that spend the money. But see, you're so arrogant and you have to be right about everything that you just won't let yourself be wrong. And that's the problem. Money is an illusion. Even the whole idea of the gold standard, that's a shiny rock. That's a rock they decided to tell us was valued. Imagine if suddenly quartz, just your average quartz, became this gemstone. We'd all be fucking millionaires. You just described yourself. Yep, that's what I did. Fucking idiot. God, stupid people are just dumb. I just can't. It's so scary, and you see it. You see it on my feed. There are people that come here just to cause problems on the feed of the guy that says we need to take out the J's and take out the pedos.
Represented by Public Citizen Litigation Group and State Democracy Defenders Fund, the Alliance for Retired Americans, the American Federation of Government Employees, and the Service Employees International Union filed suit on Monday against the Treasury Department for sharing confidential data with the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, run by Elon Musk. On USAID, appearing with other Democratic lawmakers outside USAID offices of Monday, Representative Jamie Raskin shouted, "Elon Musk, you didn't create USAID. The United States Congress did for the American people, like Elon Musk did not create USAID. He doesn't have the power."
You're fucking stupid. No, they are horrible. Because you don't hear about their crimes doesn't mean they don't commit crimes, you dumbass.
Trying to find that. On January 21st, Democracy Forward was filed at 12:01 p.m. And accused Elon Musk's DOGE of being a shadow operation led by unelected billionaires that flouts federal transparency rules.
I mean, again, who do you think these billionaires are? Do you think it's a bunch of black guys? You think it's a bunch of black guys? 20K. So you're saying the people with the most money being billionaires who openly buy politicians somehow aren't the problem. Yep, that's what I said. That's what I said. And is that after you said super PACs? So you understand what super PACs are. But you're stuck on the what. You're still not looking at the who and the why. Who are the people that are involved in the super PACs? Who runs APAC? That's the issue. Is again, it's like they've tricked us into being this. We're all in like competition, and everybody wants to be the head truther or some shit. It's strange to me how difficult it is to talk to people who identify as truthers, because they just, it's like they're all so goddamn arrogant, thinking that they know stuff because they find a piece of paper. It's like, I had this one guy on my video one time. I had him. I don't remember what his name was, but he was talking about how he was going through government.org, documents, looking at all the redacted stuff and going through things one by one. And he said he spent hours and hours doing that. And he's like, and I found these breadcrumbs and blah, blah. And it's like, dude, You're looking in the bread factory and then bragging because you found some breadcrumbs. If you get any of your information from government.org, it's 100% what they want you to know. People like to act like the Freedom of Information Act is like this superhero, right? Freedom of Information Act, man. And he stands there while the J nerds are scanning all of the documents into the computer, and and they're like, hey, Irving, do you think we should actually, this one says some negative stuff. Do you think we should scan this one or just, oops, it goes in the garbage? And he steps in like, excuse me, young men. You are not allowed to do that. They have requested freedom of information. And this is America. You post that. You scan that as it is. Never mind that they redact everything they don't want us to know. But if you think that any of the mainstream information, and then even the stuff that the big wig, the heavy duty, heavy hitter truthers like Alex Jones and shit, Anomaly, if you think any of those fucking guys are just completely free and say what they, you're foolish. When was the last time you heard, do you guys remember Alex Jones is the biggest Trump supporter there is? As soon as Alex Jones started supporting Trump, how did he not lose his entire audience? I hope the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. What the fuck do I know? I don't know. It's distraction time.
Who's Mr. Swalwell? Is he a congressman?
I don't fucking know. I mean, it's like I said, I say almost every day, like, instead of me trashing things like I always do, why don't people tell me the good stuff that Israel does? Tell me how Israel is our ally. Tell me about how the Jays do good things and make the world a better place. And what you're doing is classic misdirection. Yep. And follows history with fascist people blaming minorities for the problems of the government. Right. So knowing who controls the government, that doesn't matter. Knowing who prints the money and the history behind all that, that doesn't matter. It's just the fascist government. Gotcha. He's not blaming any minority. Are you so dense you can't understand common sense? I do. I blame them for everything because I'm smarter than you. I have looked into it. What, again, answer the question. Why would anyone care about getting 1% of the vote? The Jays make up 2% of the American population. 1% of them is eligible to vote. So why would anyone care about making them happy? Why would there anything matter? Whoever controls the government doesn't matter. What? See, the funny thing is when people know they're wrong, they start arguing their own narrative. She's not arguing against what I'm saying. She's just making up her own shit. And that's what she has to do because she can't she's not smart enough. Yeah, it doesn't matter that the Jays in Israel openly control said government. No, it's not that. Again, why are you in defense of them to begin with? Why would you ever be like, no, don't say that. Don't blame those people. Why do you support this cult for any reason whatsoever? Matt, I wouldn't bother. This is a troll. Like, I was entertaining the troll, but this is a troll. This person's been here for multiple videos doing nothing but talking shit. And now, as far as misdirection goes, she's trying to convince us. It's another person trying to say, no. It's not the Jays. It's the deep state. It's the Zionists. It's the, it's this invisible stuff. Focus on the invisible. Let the government tell you what to think. Trump said it. It's the deep state. How come everybody wasn't grilling Trump? Who the fuck is the deep state? What are you talking about?
These are the people that are now in charge of all of our personal information. Elon Musk's teams. Half of them are fucking children.
I wouldn't say they're children. But let's see. Vought J. Bajadel J. Biocini. That might be an Italian. Armstrong, you never know. Akis J. Korstein J. Klinger J. Baba seems Indian. Shutran is Asian of some sort. Killian looks J. Scales, absolutely J. Grunbaum J. Peters J. And McGanahan. Again, Rusty McGanahan. That might not be. He might be just one of their good old boys.
That's his IT team that he has taking over all these different agencies there.
I might disagree with some, but I'd love to know what you disagree with, Matt. I always say this, like, look, what I'm doing right now is training, right? I compare it to boxing, especially like heavyweight sort of boxing, because first of all, I'm clearly such a Mike Tyson-esque badass that nobody bothers to actually get in the ring with me. But this is training. The goal is to end up being in the big fight one day. I want to be, I want to be made the example of. I want to be the, they're sick of, like, isn't it strange how the ADL and all those anti-J groups, they haven't targeted me. Why haven't they targeted me? I'm one of the most openly anti-J people I've ever met, known, heard of. And yet, nope, they never bother. And so my hope is that they take it up. Like, I want to be the bad guy. Put me on TV in front of a whole group of your people, whoever you want, the smartest group of J's you can find, LOL. And I'll bring shit up and they can bring shit up and we'll just see. And if I'm wrong, if they can be like, no, they can show me how I'm wrong, they can explain things and make things make sense, I will absolutely admit to being wrong and I'll shut the fuck up. And so everything we do each day is preparing for that. I doubt it'll ever happen, but if it does, I want to be prepared. So I don't want to drop my left hand when I jab. I don't want to leave an opening when I throw my right cross, I want my constituency to, look at me, hold me under a microscope, and only point out the things I'm getting wrong. Only point out those things, those bad habits I have, so that when I'm in the big show, I don't get knocked out by some Joe Louis glaring weakness.
So
anti-J is crazy.
The Musk, this is a
how I say what? What do I say that I don't say right? Sorry, I'm sort of in the middle, so just give me a second. My uncle is Jay, and he's a great man. Why are you hating on my uncle? He never did nothing to you. He never did nothing to me.
Other than look at you like cattle.
Right. Other than look, and if your uncle is Jay, I don't know how that doesn't make you Jay.
To his aunt. It's probably his aunt that the Jewish man is.
Right, but he looks down on you, trust me. I love how people act like, oh, I know Jays and they're nice to my face. You really think they're nice after you leave? They have nothing but good things to say about you, dumb goyim? Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So Musk being in charge of these different agencies. This is a post from somebody. But this is what it means. Musk and his team of dodgy 18-year-olds went into sensitive government networks, hooked up their own storage systems, and downloaded the personal information of every American. Various politicians, some even Republican, are, in the words of Susan Collins, very concerned. The press is variously surprised, appalled, and aghast.
This is the kind of shit I just don't care about.
There are rising calls for Musk's removal. But here's the part they're all missing. Even if we throw Musk out, he still has our information. He still has our personal information, all of it. All of your private information. Everything the government knows about you, your identity, your bank accounts, your credit cards, your tax information, the property you own, all of it, every detail. There's a reason why that information was protected. Musk's companies now have it, and whoever they decide to sell it to has it.
Yeah, but what does that, how can you, like, I look at me and I go, bring it. Bring whatever you can find, whatever negatives you think you can use against me, go ahead, use them.
That. I mean, think about this.
But that's what
when the Social Security Administration got hacked into, what, 2 years ago now? And a bunch of people's numbers were compromised. Well, ours was one of them. So
okay.
Our shit keeps getting hacked.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's the type of shit that will continuously happen.
But that is symptomatic of the problem. And when we're talking about the symptoms of the problem, we're being distracted.
Insurance companies in the past were not privy to all the information that the government had about us. Guess what?
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. It's hard. Okay, so I'm glad you said this, actually, Matt. First of all, let me think. Karen said, Netanyahu and his own podium, exactly, should be in his own cell, not on his fucking podium. We have a plan, but douchebag Trump has investigated giving us more. Netanyahu says straight off the podium. Again, Netanyahu had his own podium. Think about that. How often do you see that? Okay, so Matt, you said it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? And then you said it's hard to explain. Never mind, LOL.